Okay, so we're going to wrap up by looking at innovation, regional priority, and also at my own conclusions about LEED version 4 for building design and construction. But innovation and design is great because you can get up to 5 points for pushing the boundaries beyond where LEED is already pushing it. You know, people always say, well, LEED is not very ambitious. It's not really moving the market. Well, it moved the market. It created a platform by which other systems could then build forward. But LEED does give 5 points for doing more ambitious energy. We did a project with straw bale construction. We received points for that. Innovative lighting techniques, you name it, LEED will give you points for that. And so this idea that LEED is like building code and locking you in and making you stuck is really just backlash against something that some people perceive as bureaucratic. So the strategies, of course, vary. I talked about a couple of those. You can also do not only just innovation things, but you can run pilot projects that will try out new options within LEED, and you can also do additional strategies. And then I was going to say that you can go beyond the LEED requirements. So the project that I worked on that got 99% construction waste recycling ended up getting an additional point from USGBC or GBCI for that. You get 1 point for being a LEED accredited or having a LEED accredited professional on your team, and I suppose that's where people get a little bit suspicious of what exactly is LEED trying to do. Are they trying to feather their own nest? There tends to be a perception of LEED as being greedy or wanting to dominate the market, and I think that a lot of that is actually unfounded. There might be isolated examples of people and or things that LEED has done or USGBC has done, but in general, if you go back to their mission and vision, they're trying to transform the marketplace to move society towards a greener future, and I think that the system actually does that. And I don't think it overpromises what it does. Whether or not they should be requiring a LEED AP on the project, that's up for debate. I think that on the projects I've been on having people, I think there should be people with LEED AP, not just one person, has actually been pretty helpful. And when you get projects where not everybody is on board with LEED, it is really difficult. So I would think that this should actually be pumped up to include more people on the team. Really happy to see regional priority. There's no doubt that LEED is not one size fits all for all areas of the country or the world. And so regional priority is really critical to acknowledge the fact that, well, for example, some areas have a lot of water and some areas don't. Some areas have a certain type of climate, it's very hot, and some places are very cold. LEED has now become more sophisticated over the time to try to help us to understand that and give us opportunity to get points. Some of my conclusions about the LEED rating system, USGBC and GBCI, it really does rely on a series of experts and multidisciplinary teams. And the more you can use the integrated project delivery or integrated design process, which I'll be covering next week, the better off you're going to be. The more you can get people's perceptions aligned on what the goals of the projects are really critical. And LEED v4 really represents an amazing, to me, evolution of the LEED rating system. They received a lot of backlash from large corporations who could not or did not want to meet the new standard as it came out. They held the standard back. They found the ground. They really maximized what they thought people could do, but keep the momentum for the LEED rating system going forward. And I thought it really was, especially in materials, life cycle assessment, really went forward in a major way. I'd like to see LEED have intent, strategies, and requirements. I think, you know, we tend to get caught up in the LEED point game. It's like, oh, what do I need to get this point? Or how do I get this point? How much will that point cost? And I think we got to go back to emphasizing strategies. The answer is, you know, LEED was always a check sheet. You could build a green building without ever applying for LEED certification. And so going back to the idea that LEED is really a check sheet or a list of strategies that have been carefully organized that you can use to reach green building status is really kind of critical. Now, I went through these very quickly, and in the coming weeks, I'm going to be going and coming back to these strategies in detail. I really hope you'll stick with the course, and I really wanted to lay the foundation here for how things interrelate before I just started teaching you daylighting, for example, or daylight harvesting. I want everything to be put into frameworks so that you can see how they interrelate and how they build into an overall sustainability initiative. If I could do it all over again, would I make these videos longer? Probably not. Would I do more show me, don't tell me right away? And maybe in the future I'll do that, but for right now I think you're just going to have to wait over the next few weeks and to really get those strategies under your belt. So I want to thank you all for watching this series of videos. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to getting some feedback in our forum on what you think about all this. So I'll be asking some really pointed questions. Again, thanks a lot, and I look forward to seeing you next week.